A new power is rising. The battle for Middle-earth begins. At number 38, it's The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Welcome to Longplay Video. Well, here we are down at the shop for what can only be described as an epic afternoon, epic in every dimension, universe, formation, as we get to number 38 on the list, which is Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. And obviously, as it's Lord of the Rings, we, despite the Fellowship being broken up in the last film, we've invited everyone back down for the second Lord of the Rings film. So yeah, we're joined by three guests. Freddie, Woody, Rob, welcome back to the shop.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello. I thought he was going to be Sarky there and calling him, I know, Frodo, Samwise, and Gandalf.
There's plenty of time left for that, Rob.
I don't know whether Woody and Freddie remember the characters. Do we now need to do a brief recap of where we got to at the end of Fellowship? I mean,
Previously
a lot's
Lord of the
happened.
Rings.
Fellowship was obviously number 62. A lot's happened since then. We've had some highs and we've had some lows. We've had more highs than lows, but I think I was just concentrating on the lows. So yeah, Woody and Freddie, what do you remember from Fellowship? What are you looking forward to from the second film? Do you remember anything from Fellowship?
It was long. There's a lot of walking, so I'm assuming we're going to see more walking.
Looking
It's good
forward
for
to
January,
walking.
you know. Everyone has their New Year's resolution.
Yeah, very true.
Just get some more walking in. No.
Get your steps in.
Yeah. Do we think we're all going to make it through the Fellowship this time? I don't think anyone dies in the first one, do they?
Oh well, no spoilers. No
The
spoilers.
first one.
Yeah, the first one, someone died.
Who died?
Oh, Ned Stark.
Stabbed.
Who?
A lot.
He loves dying early, doesn't he? In a series or a film.
He just turns up for the first series, gets his pay,
money.
just lives on the residuals afterwards.
As long as his
So-
face is on the calendar for the year, he doesn't matter. He only lasts till March and everything he does.
So basically you're just expecting walking and that's about it. Do you remember the cliffhanger that we left on?
Yeah. Woody, go ahead, Woody.
Well, Frodo and Sam are now walking towards Mordor.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the others are about to start following after them. Said we'll let them walk, and then decided to follow.
Yeah. Well, were they? You're forgetting about the other two hobbits.
Oh yeah, they got taken, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Because the other guys are going after them, aren't they? Because apparently everyone thinks Frodo and Sam can handle themselves, which they can't. He almost drowned in a puddle. So
Sam's reliable. He can save them.
Or was it Frodo? Which one almost drowned? One of them's an idiot.
Frodo
No,
almost
Sam.
drowned.
Yeah, Frodo. But Sam's got the really long arm that seemed to go down to the depths as a hobbit. Like one of those bath toys that just stretches when it hits some water.
And Gandalf fell in a hole or something, didn't he?
He got taken down. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got taken down by I don't remember what it's called. Balrog. There we go. It came back to me in the last second. Yeah. So Gandalf is dead. Is he dead? Is he not dead? This is what you have to wait and see.
Who knows?
And obviously, yeah, the three of them utter the immortal line, "Let's go hunt some orc." And I think that's pretty much where the movie ends. So
I'm glad we did that recap. I don't remember any of that.
You just don't remember any film.
I think it's about what you could tell. But on this list, you just have to let it go because otherwise, can't let it stick again. It's going to be bad times.
You've seen it, yeah, haven't you?
What's that?
You've seen this one?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I remember this one.
You sure it's this and it's not the Hobbit that you saw?
Could be the Hobbit. I mean, we'll find out. That's for sure.
Lord of the Flies, who knows?
But yeah, it's every time you watch a new movie, it's just like a great experience. Never know to see it. Brilliant.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be epic. It's obviously the direct follow on. Do you, Rob and Kev, do you sort of remember coming to this one? Obviously, it was a year after the first one. Do you remember when it first came out, when you saw it? And
Yeah, I saw it at the cinema, and I think I saw it at the IMAX as well. So really getting the full experience in Mordor. So yeah, I mean, it was huge, right? I remember it being. I mean, these movies were massive as well because it was such a big epic. And at the time, you didn't have. Now, so you have Marvel pushing out these sort of films twice a year, but that didn't really happen then. So it was a huge. I remember it being so huge. Yeah, everyone was there. Everyone watching it. Just party times. Everyone's having fun. We all went out afterwards. The whole cinema. It's just different times.
who were you dressed up as?
Yeah, the Balrog. It was a big costume, but it worked. What about you, Rob? Do you remember?
No. And if Andrew's asked the question, I obviously didn't see it with him. But yeah, to be honest, I can't think that I would have gone and seen it in the cinema as much as I like him all. Well, not the first one, but like the next two. Yeah, I can't
say that now.
When it was out, going out on a date for 3 hours to watch people walk.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would have got away with that. So I probably watched it in the sort of on DVD.
If you would have waited the whole year it took to go out on DVD.
Well, it's different times then.
Yeah.
Did it only come out a year after the first one then? It seems like a quick turnaround. I'm waiting years for all my sequels.
Fred, you've given him. He's going to go off on one now, Fred. He's going to give the whole synopsis.
That's why I get invited back.
No. Yeah.
There you go, Mr. Empire.
Yeah.
No, they were all filmed more or less concurrently. So, yeah, Fellowship was 2001. This is 2002, and Return of the King was 2003. And it was. Yeah, because obviously
because that was me. That was me getting born. The king did return.
They brought it out especially to celebrate.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you had the sort of and then it was a good 6 months, 8 months after the film came out that you had the DVDs. Like that, there really was a gap.
Yeah, when.
And then I think they brought out the extended DVDs when the next film came out as well. I think I remember. So I think the Fellowship extended version came out just as Two Towers came out. So you kind of had the double whammy again of like seeing more of the first film, and then where it was out at the cinema at Christmas as well.
Wow. I mean, that's good knowledge. Like, was this the start of when of what Marvel did then? This was it. This was the beginning. How you build the universe.
Yeah, well, I think filming it all at the same time was bold. I mean, obviously, it's the book's there, so you're kind of like, well, yeah, we're gonna do it. And obviously, there's a lot of visual, sort of visual computer graphics and stuff, especially in this one, the next one with Gollum being sort of so groundbreaking. I'm sure that had the first one flopped, there would probably just be videos on YouTube of a like a drawn pencil version of Gollum rather than the full motion capture. But yeah, obviously they were going to do them all. They filmed them all together. They kind of put them all. I mean, I think it's a year to edit it all together for each one isn't a long time.
No. Yeah,
but, yeah,
impressive, isn't it? And that obviously really put Peter Jackson on the map. No one really knew who he was for these.
Yeah.
So that really got him on that. And I think he did do a good job with them as a whole. Like if you think about like the new Wicked film that came out, where they spread that over 2 films, everyone's trying to, you know, extend things a bit more. I'm not sure they always work. Whereas I think that Q did, even though they are all really long, and the first one's probably a little bit too much walking, they are. I still feel like the other 2 still work very well. They hold up, so I think they did a good job. He covered off most of what's in the books and kept the official fans happy, but also I think, you know, for just normal cinema goers, it was still entertaining as well. But we'll find out. We'll see what Freddie and Woody think, because they have not seen it before.
I mean, it's funny you say about it, like including everything in the book. I read the Fellowship after the last pod to kind of compare.
Of course he did. Oh God!
And I mean, this is the dedication you need to have.
You're going to get thrown down the hole at the moment. The Fellowship don't want you here.
Obviously, quiet in the shop in between.
Yeah. They like that.
Not much.
Why was I doing all the cleaning?
You're having to alphabetize the DVDs on the wall.
Yeah, the romance section.
But funnily enough, like pretty much the entire book is before they get to Rivendell. Like there's so much that happens that I've forgotten about. There's a whole sort of scene when Frodo kind of gets kidnapped as well, and then Tom Bombadil has to come and save him after they've done the introduction with the Barrow Wights. For anyone who's read the book, and like obviously none of that is in the film at all, and there's not even any reference to it. So I do think, his editing of the story and his sort of script of the entire story, it was weird how much I'd forgotten about the book, because these are almost the definitive versions now, and I do think
they're forgettable.
They're big old books.
Do you think it was paced well then, between the film and the book?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different. I think it's different demands, but I do think, I think there's way more that happens in the film than happens in the book. And obviously, you thought that there was a lot of walking and not a lot happened in the film. So probably don't read the book, I would say. But
yeah. So, and then the book's 3 different books, right? So
are
you going to read The Two Towers as well after you watch this?
I'm not sure that I will. Not sure that
Look at that. The fatigue is hitting already.
After the last one, I think it'd be interesting, because I remember a lot more happening in this one. This felt more action, because in the last one, really, you only had the sort of end battle, and that wasn't very long. Whereas in this one, you have Helm's Deep, which is I think very good, and is quite a long one, right? So I think that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing, and I think
and some of the scenes as well in this one, so it was the first time. So for instance, it was the first time that we saw a lot of this sort of animatronics and sort of the visual, and sort of like having thousands and thousands of people. Now obviously it's parodied on everything now, but this was the first time, and actually watching it, I can remember sort of like watching at the time thinking, well, that is impressive, but now they seem to be able to do it on an advert, let alone anything else.
All of the individual characters in the armies, so that they all react to each other. I think this one does have way more like character development, because I think in this one especially, you see each of the characters change, and I think this one is really about almost sort of changing from a time of peace to a time of war. And I think obviously like that's very much in the books with Tolkien writing about the Second World War, but in this one, literally every single character I think goes through, like, of the Fellowship, goes through a transformation where they are changing, and they are kind of evolving and having to change what they are. Obviously for the hobbits, it's being out of the Shire and being in the world, and then for all of the other characters, they also have to change as well. So
I'd argue that Gimli doesn't really change too much. It's all right. he lets himself get thrown, but that's all it changes.
becomes friends with an elf. What are you talking about? It's a big change for him.
It's only because they're walking. You got to start talking to someone you're walking with for 6 hours.
So I think at the end of last pod, Woody, you said you were looking forward to seeing Gollum.
Yeah.
That's still what do you both kind of know about Gollum? Like, have you seen clips with Gollum in? I mean, obviously you've seen The Hobbit, but I suppose you have the scene with him and
I know a bit about his backstory, but like, I don't. He just looks like a cool character. Kind of just want to see more of the
He
My
looks that cool.
Precious.
He looks a bit weird.
But yeah, it's funny.
Because they were hinting. He was. I remember his story was interesting because they were hinting in the first one that he was like, I think he was a hobbit, and then he was possessed by a realm. I can't remember what it was, but I remember thinking, "Oh, I'm intrigued to know more." But I don't. I obviously, other than his infamous line, I don't know any more about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just someone who lays around in the dark, doesn't go outside, and doesn't do a lot. So that'd be a lesson to you too.
He's a relatable character. I don't know what you mean.
Well, he does. I think he does get the big comedic scene in this one as well. And obviously, it does very well. And I remember, especially for that, I remember being in the cinema and it being, like getting a very big reaction from everyone. So no spoilers. No spoilers.
So expect a hearty laugh.
Yeah.
It's funny watching these not jokes. It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
But you know it's Andy Serkis, Freds. So like your Planet of the Apes people that you like.
Yes. Yeah. I know that. I didn't notice him.
This is where it all began for him.
Yeah, this is right. It's where it all began, and at the time it was unprecedented, right? We didn't have this sort of technology. He wasn't known. He then became the face of this sort of style, didn't he? Everyone knew what Weta were, the workshop. And you're like, why do we know that this this agency is even bad? But it was groundbreaking time, wasn't it? It really was.
Yeah.
And then great thing is that this one's definitely much better than the first one as well, which is a big bonus.
Well, I think the sort of especially the motion capture on his face, like the story is that they weren't going to do that. It was going to be fully animated, and then his performance was sort of good enough for them to then say, okay, well, actually, let's base it on that and try and capture it. Which again, is pretty fortuitous, and out of all of the actors, he probably got the most career out of it, which is kind of I think we talked about it in the last one. So, well,
fun times.
Yeah, 900 odd million at the box office, did well, was lived up to the hype, left everyone wanting more to go to the last one. No Oscars because you only give Oscars to the last film in a trilogy, apparently.
That's right. So, what do you think then, honestly, that each film is better than the last?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, with these, obviously, we've bounced around in the Star Wars universe, but I think that I think each one builds, and I think there's more set pieces.
I think this is my favorite. I think the last one's probably got my favourite scene, but this is my favourite one.
Yeah, I think I'm the same because I had that from memory.
Interesting.
Times ahead.
Lives up to expectations.
We don't want another Empire Strikes Back on our hand.
Did the last one do the best in the box office? It was almost a roller coaster, and
climbed. Kept kind of going up. I think the first one did 800 odd. This one did 900, and then the last one did over $1 billion. I think at the time it was kind of second biggest to Avatar.
Mhm.
which is a bit strange because that would, well, I guess it's people going to see the last one maybe more times, because you're not going to go and see the last one and not have seen the first two. You would have thought.
Yeah, that is true.
That would be very strange, but I presume it's people. It's maybe
See it more.
a certain identifiable group going multiple times, and they went more to the last one than they did to the previous
Well,
two. So
I guess you got people like Rob that might have watched the first one on DVD and the last one in the cinema. So,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah,
Dressed up as my orc.
Yes. Definitely see you as an orc. Yeah.
it took you 2 years to make the costume, so you couldn't go and see this one at the cinema. Cool. Well,
All right.
yeah, it's a long one again, so let's get it on. Let's get it on nice and early.
Slow. It was a slow film.
Slow film. They're running.
Yeah,
There's
slow film.
there's hardly any walking at all. They're running, and then they go on horses, and
It's
then
just
they're chasing
slow
after other
pacing.
people.
It was too slow pacing.
Yeah, I went with
Yeah.
exhausting. Was what I
Oh,
went with.
really?
Yeah, it
Well,
was-
did you guys find it better or worse than The Fellowship?
I haven't decided.
Oh, wow. Didn't expect that.
Wow.
I don't know what to
Wow.
do with this information. What do we do?
I enjoyed
do
it
we
more.
stop? Yeah.
You enjoyed it, but you enjoyed it more than Fellowship.
Yeah,
Is that just because of Helm's Deep, or
probably. It felt like more happened in this film than
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was actual plot points in this one. Last one was just kind of.
Yeah, but the last
Yeah.
one built everything.
Yeah,
This one
they're
did.
still building it.
This one did nothing for the first hour and a half. It was pointless story.
oh wow.
Yeah, but the
Sounds-
second half was amazing.
The second half was great,
Yeah.
but yeah, the first half of the first DVD, nothing happened until the king got back into
Yeah.
himself, and then it was like, oh, okay, now stuff's gonna happen. Nothing before that was worthwhile. at
Well,
all.
the opening scene, Gandalf and the Bullwog. You're talking. That's
That's
when
good.
he's,
Isn't that-
when you're seeing him going through.
He falls all the way down, and then next we see him, he's on top of a tower.
Yeah.
I was like, why?
That is weird. I did pick up on that. I was like, how did he get up there?
It's supposed to be in the
He's
depths of the caves.
battling the Bullwog from the lowest lows to the highest highs.
No.
Oh
He
my
could have
lord.
just shown up again and have been fun. Fine.
There is
Wow.
a direct correlation between volume of Frodo on film and boringness.
Yeah.
And it's definitely he's in a lot of the first half of the film.
For the main character, he is probably the weakest, I think.
He is, isn't he? He's so bad. I had a question for you, Andy. Is based off of this, is Elijah Wood as Frodo worse than Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter in terms of acting? Because I think he is. I think even Daniel Radcliffe was better at acting as Harry Potter than Frodo is. It's terrible.
Wow. Well, funnily enough, I had, is he the main villain? Because he's probably the worst person in the film. He doesn't carry anything in his pack. He's just rude to Sam. He just keeps trying to put the
Yeah.
ring on. You're like, you're not supposed to do that. That's all you have to do is basically not put a ring on. And he doesn't even almost manage it. So
He gives up more than anyone, doesn't he? He's the one who's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like going out
he's
for a walk with
the-
the kids. Oh, I don't want to go out.
It's like
He's
the your
Rose.
Luke, isn't he, Rob? He's your Luke Skywalker.
Very much so.
well, I thought Column as well with the rope. Oh, it burns. Yeah, I'm sure that's usually like kids wearing their shoes. Oh, I've got something in my shoe. Oh, I can't walk anyway. You have to carry me.
And eat him as
Well-
well when he's eating the rabbit. Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the Gollum? I guess from like a character perspective, and then from like a CGI perspective as well. If you hadn't seen him before, did it look like really dated from what you're used to?
I thought he looked pretty good. He's a character.
Yeah, no, I thought he was quite good actually. But he was with two of the worst characters, so it's like, so you're really interesting, and you're stuck with idiots.
I feel the same way sometimes.
Yeah, classic Frodo. What did you, Andy, Rob? Obviously, you said it before. What did you guys think? I thought it still stood up pretty well in terms of the CGI. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
There were some bits that, annoys me still. So, with the skateboard with a Lando. Yeah, that, and I remember that annoying me sort of like when I first saw it. And it's weird that they sort of screwed that bit up. But then actually, I didn't think anything with Gollum, I thought, stood up still. There didn't seem to be any sort of glitches or anything. But yeah, every now and again, there was other things that seemed to go wrong, which, I don't know what the technology behind it is, but it just seemed weird that Gollum's perfect and fire's rubbish.
Well, I guess that's the thing with Gollum. It's 100% computer generated. Right? I think it always looks worse if you're going from like real person to computer generated, or there's there's something in, because there's a particular Legolas sort of jumping on the horse. Looks a little bit suspect. Although it does, I think it's still. I mean, that's still just quite cool. Like even attempting it, and like the way that he actually jumps on the horse as it gallops past.
That was a rough scene.
But and the Gollum comedy bit. Did everyone appreciate that, where he's talking to himself?
Yeah, that was very good. Enjoyed his lines of "You have no friends." So.
Yeah, you don't have any friends. You got to laugh in the cinema. I remember that. Like, that just him arguing with himself was really good. Yeah, no, I think I definitely think it still stands up. It's still, because I think there's so much more character development in this. I think every character like changes to a certain extent, and obviously, as I said before, with trying to sort of get into what would you have to be if you went to war and stuff, and the Merry and Pippin bits are good, because you sort of see them sort of go from quite naive into wanting to get involved but on the sidelines and stuff, and then obviously Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas is really good. And then you have to show Frodo and Sam at some stage, because otherwise
Legolas change. He doesn't do anything. Well, he does a little bit, but he doesn't change.
It becomes more friendly with the dwarf. Becomes friends with the dwarf. That's quite a big change. You think back to the beginning of Fellowship, and like the elves.
That's a long time ago. That's a long time ago.
It's 8 hours.
got that in me.
No, I think that's the thing. Like the three of them, and them two sort of becoming friends when in the Fellowship they play up a lot, the dwarves and the elves not liking each other because they both think the other one's arrogant. And now it's quite funny when he's like, should I describe it to you or get you a box? And then Gimli just laughs. You see, it's just, they're just they're friends. It's nice.
Yeah, he's the comedy foil, isn't he, for sure?
Yeah. And then Gandalf's defeated the Balrog and done his washing, and and he comes out a whole different person.
Should we be worried that he's like this super all powerful, like elevated, like promoted wizard, but he's forgotten his name? Like, should we be like, hold on a minute, you should be more powerful. Should you not remember more stuff than less? What's happened? Oh yes, Gandalf. That's what they called me.
He completely forgets Sam, doesn't he? He says, "Oh well, Frodo's all alone," and Aragorn's like, "Oh no, Sam's with him," and he's like, "Oh, I thought he would have died. I just presumed he wouldn't have made it." He doesn't mate Sam at all. So
he's like that guy. I've spent a lot of time with him. I know what he's like.
And I mean, Aragorn is just like especially the development of Aragorn.
Well,
Yeah,
here we go. Andrew's going on the romantic phrase.
It's always got to be in every film. I didn't think it would be this version, but it's happened. Yeah.
We've got like about 6 hours on the extended version.
Yeah. Just for all the listeners, in the back of Andy's room is just posters of Aragorn. Just
you know, with Liv Tyler as well. Just you know, from the.
yeah.
I mean, I think I'm not. I couldn't even remember whether there's actually even payoff to their love story other than them.
Liv Tyler's.
Yeah, and in Return of the King. I mean, yes, we won't go into spoilers, but yeah, I mean, I think, but his development of like everyone kind of knows that he's the king. And like, you know, Theoden's like, you know, oh, I'm still king. Like, get out, you know, get out of here. And then he takes the knee and stuff. So everyone's aware that he's basically the best person, but he's not stepping up yet. He's not sort of yet doing something that's more. I think that's really good. I think that really stands up, and I think Aragorn's just a really good character all the way through.
Yeah. It's because he's like super old. He's like, I can live forever. I don't want to be a king. I'm going to get killed like within a week. Just going to hang out with the elves.
Yeah, I didn't remember that scene. There's a couple of things I didn't remember, and that's all. Yeah, how old he is. Yeah. Forgotten completely.
Yeah, I don't remember him being like super old. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the Rangers for you. I mean, so you're I think about 2/3 of the way through when Galadriel then does the recap and the voiceover, where she's sort of saying, you know, okay, well, you know, the men are struggling and Frodo's not, the ring bearer's losing the strength. That would have actually been the end of the film if it was a Marvel film. They would have just been like, okay, now you have to go to the next film to watch Helm's Deep. Nothing's actually happened. There's just been a bunch of plot, and we're just setting up the next one. Whereas at least with this, it then continues on, and then you get Helm's Deep, which is one of the best army fight scenes, I think, arguably ever.
Freddie, Woody, anything to say about that?
It was good. Helm's Deep was good, but didn't need everything else before it. I would argue Helm's Deep alone could have just been the disc. Because everything in the second disc was enjoyable and interesting, but I was so tired from the first half, I didn't care as much.
Surely that's what it's all about. You've got to feel the endurance that they've had to go through.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be sending Freds and Woods on any epic missions. They'll just put the ring on the side. So we'll do it later. We'll do it in the morning.
Yeah, someone else will do this. They'll sort it out. It'll be fine.
Well, that sounds very Denethor. I don't know. We need to get into parenting styles.
Yeah.
Who wants to bother me?
Yeah. I mean, I get paid all the money, but I go straight away.
There's a couple of great dad lines in there, as we'll maybe get to when we do the quotes. But Helm's Deep, was that like, is that just standard? Because obviously, when it first came out, the fact that there's so many people and there's so many, like, so much action going, that is, and was at the time something that almost you hadn't seen before. There's just the amount of fighting. How does that sort of stand up now? Do you are you more used to seeing that?
I'd say, we're more in current films. It's easier to see a film like a fight with lots of people, but it doesn't take away the fact that it was a good fight. Sorry.
I'd just say, I suppose with Avengers Endgame is sort of comparable now because of the amount of people that were in that.
Yeah.
They were sort of slightly surprised that there was a little side door.
Yeah, there's a lot of surprising things in the war, but
I'm not really sure why they're still trying to go through the door when there's a big hole in the wall. And that was these orcs aren't the smartest. And as to be said, I don't know what Legolas is doing, because I think he gets 42 the entire time, but he's
This
up
is
to
what I
like
said.
17 in the first 3 minutes. So clearly he has a bit of a break. He has maybe a coffee break.
My point was, if he's only got 40 and the dwarf's only got 43 or whatever, and there's supposed to be an army of 10,000 and they're their best two warriors, I don't think that adds up if there's only like 1,000 people. So
Well, there you go.
either
It's,
Aragorn's done a big number and he's not sharing it, or they need to start pulling their weight a bit more, because they seem to slow down.
yeah.
It is weird
mean-
that they count it. It is like that did seem strange. I was like, why have they added this in? Because it's not like a kid's film, and that's like a kid's line. So I was like, it's a bit of a strange one. Let's count how many people we both killed.
It just, I think, it lightens it a bit, doesn't it? It means that you actually got some talk through it. Otherwise, it's just killing, obviously, which kept
action
in full. Just action, no talking.
Also,
Yeah,
sets
get 'em
itself up
out.
for the one gag in the last film, doesn't it? Really, I won't give it away, but
Yeah, keeping count all the way through. And I do always like the scene when Gandalf is going towards Theoden and to sort of take the spell off, and just the fact that he's sort of walking forward and Legolas and Aragorn and like sort of running in front of him, punching people and like hitting them out of the way. That's always always like that scene where they're just kind of clearing the path for him. That's always one of my favorite, I think, in the films.
Yeah, I was going to say, you covered things that you like, and now, I guess Woody and Freddie, you guys maybe didn't like it as much. What are the things that you didn't like then, other than the first hour being?
I was going to say, I just didn't like the first half, and anything with Frodo and Sam, I didn't like.
Yeah,
And
do
I
you
didn't
think
like
it's the characters themselves, or do you think that the actors or the story? What do you think it is?
Oh, Kev starting his spat on Twitter. He's going.
Who should we have a go at?
Yeah, they're just not interesting. Like, I like Sam from the first one, but Frodo's just annoying, and then Sam's just kind of trying to be the voice of reason, but he's also annoying. So just didn't, anything with them in, I was kind of like, I don't care. Gollum was the better of the three, if I'm honest, and he's a questionable guy. Yeah, and I did like
guy.
I did like the Ent stuff, but they were like cut from Helm's Deep back to these trees talking. I was like, I don't care. Let me watch the war I've been waiting this whole film for, which is good. And now I'm back to these trees chatting.
But that's
more
what they're doing.
strange.
They're comparing the action and how quickly they talk through and they move to like in comparison then to the people who are just in the action, just doing it.
Yeah,
But I would say when they say oh, the Ent wives left and no one knows why, you're like, someone knows why. Someone did something and someone knows why they left.
Who was it? Barry, what did you do?
What did you do?
I mean, with the trees, like they have that whole conversation where they say, no, they're not going to join in, which takes like a day for them to have. And then later on, when they find the burnt trees, he yells once, and then they're all happy to get together and then fight.
Yeah.
Where's the long discussion there?
I'm
that's
trying to remember
code
what
word. The Ents have a code word.
Yeah.
Mayday.
Maybe it was 49 to 50 not to go to war, and then when he sees the forest is gone, he was the deciding vote, and he flips the other way. I'm trying to remember. I feel like in the books the Ents are in it almost more.
We didn't need to know
yeah.
anymore. They weren't needed more.
Well, because I think they obviously represent sort of older powers, and I think there's...
they were in it more, and actually sort of more rounded. Well, not characters, but they sort of the reason why they were doing it was a bit more.
Well, I think 2 hours in, every time we cut back, the two hobbits were still riding on him, and I was like, hurry up. They've been riding on this guy for ages. I don't care.
Yeah, get on with it.
Are they also
Yeah.
now part tree? Like they drank
Tree
water
juice.
and then they grew. Is that gonna?
Yeah.
Are they gonna
No, I
turn
think
into
it-
trees?
Well, no spoilers, but no, I think it's just it's supposed to be, just that it's sort of natural and like helps them be strong.
Drink water, kids.
Yeah, and grow.
If it was done now, there'd be a big huge sponsorship. Or something.
Yeah,
Some
if you're too
athletic greens
short,
in there.
Yeah.
Well,
Drink
I will
some
say they also
water.
did a lot of fake out deaths. Like they started with the hobbits being
Mm.
fake out deaths. Aragorn had one. Gandalf obviously had one from last movie.
Mm,
They seem to do it a lot. And I
yeah,
was just like,
we need
I mean,
to get some of these killed off.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
back then, we weren't as accustomed to it because it's, if you don't see someone die on TV these days, they're not dead. But even then, they are really or aren't. They
Yeah.
get revived anyway. But yeah, just like none of them meant anything to me because I'm like, well, we haven't seen him die, so he's somewhere. He's landed in water. Lucky him. He'll show up again.
I'm not convinced
Yeah,
either back in the day that we thought that Aragorn had gone. Like
Yeah,
one and a half
I don't know.
films in.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a bit.
especially if
He's
you've
too
read the
big a
book.
character, isn't he? Yeah, well, yeah.
Or you know that the third film's going to be called Return of the King, which is spoilers. So
It is. It's a funny one, isn't it? And he's like, he can't. I mean, the horse scene is clever and that, and obviously they linked in with the previous horse, and then he can barely get on the horse. And then when he arrives at the castle, he's like, "I'm absolutely fine. I'm ready to fight again." I was like, "What happened? You were nearly dead, and now you're fine." I was like, "Oh, okay. Don't even need any food. Let's get to this war going."
it
was a
it's
bit
because
strange.
it's because he's the king. It's because he's so powerful.
Because he's the king. He's just regenerated.
700 years old. I mean, I would say, when they turn up and they're sort of preparing for Helm's Deep, Gimli gave off very Roy Keane vibes for me. It was a bit like, these men have seen too few winters or too many, and he's a bit like, well, it's their job. That's what they're here to do. Just give them a shield and a sword, they'll be fine.
True. Yeah, he
Well,
was good.
but
I think
mean-
he was one of my favorites.
Yeah, obviously, same voice as Treebeard, in case anyone missed that. Same actor doing both. I thought that the sort of the costumes and makeup for the orcs, I think actually really stands up. I thought that was really good. Still looks good now. Like obviously a lot of practical effects. I do think it was actually really good.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I thought they looked very impressive. Like, and they do quite a few close-ups, so you really sort of see, exactly what they look like.
Yeah.
And they do a good job of making them, like proper scary and just like completely or just bloodlust, right? They just do one thing in their mind, and it's just move forward, try kill people. That's like their only thing. Everything else is just irrelevant. So yeah,
So much
they
hate.
do.
Yeah.
I think it's enough.
Well, I was saying sort of at the moment, it's always zombies being that sort of thing. Yeah, there's no difference in standards between this back in 2003 compared to sort of like zombies now. So yeah, I thought they did well, and obviously a bit gimmicky, wasn't it? Some of them about eating legs and things like that. But I think it was right that bit.
I would say
I
4
thought so
hobbit
well.
legs between everyone. It's not going to be a lot of. There's not going to be a lot of meat that they get. But there's a lot of orcs, and if they're literally just taking 4 hobbit legs, I'm just not sure that it's gonna go round that much. So
Well, even their mate that they kill, and they're like, "Oh, there's meat on the menu." Well, I'm not sure. They're going to stand it alive. All right, only one for you.
Yeah, and no, funnily enough, in my research before we move on, the guy who plays Wormtongue is the young kid in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's like Billy in the
Wormtongue?
the Sauron's right hand man who sort of is chatting to Theoden. He's also
Yeah.
not very good at poker when Eowyn's like, well, why do you stay here? And then he looks at the girl and you're like, that wasn't very subtle.
Yeah,
but
and I
he's,
would say that, if you were in the King's Council, so should we get this guy? He's called Wormtongue. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Well, surely. It's not like a family name, is it? So
you're changing your surname if it's Wormtongue. He is also the voice of Chucky in the original Child's Play as well.
Yeah, wow.
So, yeah, there we go. Any big? What do you think the big questions are then for the film? What do you think it's asking or answering?
Who is her? That's in the tunnel to Mordor. That's the main question.
What?
Gollum says like, "Oh yeah, we'll get her
at the
to
end,
kill Frodo."
Yeah.
Don't know who her is.
I thought the film was just questioning my patience, to be honest with you.
Just designed for it. We'll see. Woody's on the journey. Woody's
Woody's
he's looking
ready.
forward. He's expecting
thinking ahead.
things.
All I'm
Freddie's
seeing is
just
there's more walking coming. Back in the forest again. Keep it going.
Well, one of you who's just looking forward, expecting a story. One of you's complaining and saying, "Oh, wings too heavy." I don't know. We'll come on to which characters you identify most with. I would say that the Frodo. I hate the fact that he always calls him Mr. Frodo and Frodo always calls him Sam. Like the amount of time they say each other's name is just it's just quite annoying.
Well, it's
What does he do in the book?
society? Obviously, quite formal.
Good. It's like a car system.
Yeah.
What do they do in the book? Is he called Mr. Frodo in the book?
No, I don't. Well, I just don't think they use each other's names as much. It's just like the repetition that they're always calling each other, like they're just naming each other all the time, which is a bit
I use the
bizarre.
other characters using the names because I keep forgetting them. I remember Aragorn and Legolas, but I'm like, what's the dwarf's name again? They don't say it, so maybe they needed more of that than Frodo and Sam, because I remember them.
Yeah. I did think this was strange. Like, he creates an entire world, Tolkien, and he creates these entire races and entire languages, and then the two baddies have almost exactly the same name. And I'm like, couldn't you have just changed it just a little bit? You've got into so much effort, and on the final page, he's like, I've got nothing left in me. But just switch a couple of letters around.
The main one's Sauron. Well, we need like the personification in a man. Okay, Sauron man.
It's basically that. And you're like,
But funnily enough, I have had the same thought, so I have researched it. And the funny thing is that within the research, people explain it and say, "Oh, well, but that's because of the sort of basis of the words in the language of sort of the old Middle Earth." And you're like, no, he made up the language as well. You can't say you can't say that that's the reason. He's made that up as well. So it's fine. So
that was bad. That was unbelievable.
Okay, so I mean, it's going to be interesting then describing the plot to the aliens. Obviously, some people may not need 30 words or less. Rob, did you have anything for this?
Well, so assuming the aliens follow your podcast and they've watched the other ones, I was just going to say, I was just going to say, it's Star Wars on land.
Star Wars on land.
When you think about it, it just all matches. You can just filter in.
Yeah.
So you've got your big. Yeah, you got your
the
big
ring is Darth Vader.
And you got Darth Vader. You got old R2 and C3PO. Frodo and Sam, that actually they are all about them, really.
Is it ironic that the two robots are more that are better at acting than the two humans? There you go.
Woody, what did you have?
I went with dwarf, elf, and dude hold a fight while two hobbits sit on trees.
Nice.
Accurate.
On the back of the DVD. I think that's Go on then, Fred. Presumably walking or
No. I put like Ents, humans take a long time to get to the parts worth telling.
Ah, nice.
Nice.
Confusing them with what's real and what's not.
No.
Yeah. What about you, Kev?
I put a group of tiny people with hairy feet run from a giant eye. One falls in a hole, and the other get captured by trees.
Nice.
Nice. One falls in a hole.
Whatever the twins are called. Tell me what they're called.
Merry
Marion.
and Pippin.
Pippin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ant and Dec, as I call them.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so much better if it was Ant and Dec. It would be so much better. Can we get this remade with Ant and Dec? Oh, that's it. If you could change anything, that's the winner for me.
That's it. It would be like I'm a Celebrity. They just do it. Everyone has to do the trial. Okay, well you have to take the One Ring to Mordor.
Yeah.
At any
you
point
ready?
you can say I'm a celebrity, and then the Eagles will come in now. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah.
So go on then with the character. Who are you?
Who did you
who are you
have?
going for?
Get your one out the way
I
first.
think Aragorn is the best character. I'm not saying that I'm like Aragorn. I'm just saying Aragorn's
character.
I mean, I think he leads Eowyn on. To be honest with you, I think I think he's sending mixed messages. It has to be said, but yeah, no, I think he's, especially in this. There's a lot of scenes where he's just very cool. And I do think when I watch it, like it is that kind of build up to that he's holding himself back, and everyone's kind of thinking, well, why are you holding yourself back? Like, you're just a ranger. And then the people who know are like, no, you are the actual king, but you're holding yourself back. And I think cool. I just think I think that's just really, really good all the way through.
And I feel like he came out of nowhere, right, Vigo? Like, I feel like I don't think I saw him really in anything before this, and then he had a few things and then faded away again. He sort of just came into our lives and then disappeared again.
Yeah, well, I think he is sort of is sort of someone that wants to live his life as well. I think he does have a lot of interests outside of acting, so he sort of does a film every now and again because he thinks it's interesting, or for the paycheck straight after this. And then he's I imagine that he's sort of living in the middle of Montana or something in a shed, like just going in fighting bears, not even killing them, just fighting them.
Just keep it real.
That's the image I have of him.
What about you, Rob?
Gimli, I think. So I agree. Obviously Aragorn, but I think Gimli. I really like him. I think so. Yeah, some of his lines are the best. I think personally.
He does have good lines.
Do you think you're that funny? Do you?
When he's trying to sort of keep up with the other two when they're running, and he's like saying, at the end, he says, just breathe. It's like that sort of thing. Oh God, like my legs are half the size of you guys.
Dwarfs are more sprinters than
that's the great.
I love that line. Okay, well, we're getting the fellowship together. Then I'm not sure that anyone's going to complete it with Legolas, but Woody, who was your favourite?
Well, I actually put Legolas.
Nice.
He's very over the top, but like I enjoy him, so it's funny.
Let's go for a jog. So we can go down to New Zealand and maybe do a bit of a sprint for the pod. That'd be fine. He is what he is, but I think he gets a lot of the cool. He gets a lot of the kind of cool, not even lines, but a lot of the cool,
just
cool
shots.
Well, they're saying that he was supposed to be the best archer, and he couldn't kill the one orc they needed to. And he hit him 3 times.
Multiple times.
Yeah, he hits
him.
Orc.
Yeah, he does hit him, but not properly. He's obviously,
when did they light the torch as well? Because they spot him quite late, it seems.
Yeah,
and then
he still gets 3 arrows off.
did it under his
Yeah.
jacket. So that's how you do it when it's windy.
Yeah.
Everyone came round.
just
Yeah,
just
what you don't see is that was like the 20th one, and Legolas had actually killed the other 19. He was the last one to pick it up.
Very harsh on him. Freddie, who did you go for?
Yeah, I just remember Aragorn because he's the coolest. So.
Oh, there we go.
Well, I'm not going to go with Wormtongue.
Go for Ewan or Theoden or
No.
they start bringing in the names now, don't they? So this starts getting a little bit confusing. We haven't mentioned Faramir, obviously, as the younger brother. I didn't know, Woods, whether you were going to be like
Trying to follow in your brother's footsteps.
Always
It wasn't that cool.
disappointment to your father.
Relatable.
Far too early to get into that. That's for series 3. Psychology.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get every guest from the podcast back and say, right, okay.
Yeah.
Now tell us about your parents.
Yeah. What trauma have you lived through? Walk us through.
What
Well, it
film
started a
does
year ago when
you
we
relate
started this
to?
podcast.
Yeah. Started in 97 up once.
Yeah. It was when we first watched that film with Eric Cantare.
Were your parents more Denethor, more Fletcher from Whiplash, more Robin Williams from Dead Poets? So there's a lot of parental comparisons. Go on then, Kev. Who did you have?
Well, I mean, based on the character and his ability to remember things, I think it had to be Treebeard, right? We had exactly the same memory. Yeah. He probably speaks a little bit quicker than me, but
Makes up his mind a little bit quicker.
Your stories and his are about equivalent, so
yeah. If we caught up, the last we would have
over a very, very long time.
we'll be on a flight home and they're just coming into landing, right? Yeah. So good morning. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So where are you off to? Yeah.
This film definitely has better lines. I would say that the script is a bit better. Yeah. Than
There's more opportunity to have better lines, I think.
Yeah.
You can't play around with it too much in the Fellowship in what they covered off.
Yeah. And then shout out favourites. We won't take it in turn.
I'd put about the only just finished saying good morning. That got chocolate with me. And then when they're on the wall, the dwarf goes, yeah, he could have picked a better spot because he can't see. I thought that was quite funny actually.
Yeah, that was good.
Those are the two I wrote down.
Yeah,
there was one I can't remember who they're talking about, but it must be they must be talking about Faramir, and the dad says, "I know his uses, and they are few."
Yes.
Wow. All right, thanks.
I think I've had that at a performance review in work at the beginning of my career. So
I know his uses, and they are few. Yeah.
I had the unwasted on cross cranty, right? Gimli.
Dangerous
over short distances. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that is a really good line.
They keep it going even though it's just running rather than walking from the person.
I had another Gimli one. And sort of the first half of the same was good. The second one about the squirrels was rubbish. But he said, "What do trees have to talk about?" And he just he laughed, just like
true.
Yeah. Well, that's at the same time when he's like, "Oh, what type of madness sent them in here?" And he's literally saying that in front of a burning heap of Urukai. And you're like, I'm fairly sure you know why they went in there because there was a war going on behind them. I mean, it's Elrond, obviously, overprotective dad. I mean, he has a daughter. I have a daughter. I feel where he's coming from, but I do think here you will dwell bound to your grief until the fading trees, until all the world has changed and the long years of your life are utterly spent. Might be on the excessive side when you don't like his boyfriend. So,
yeah.
And things, Pops would just turn around and say, "Yeah, whatevs."
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that line
You'll use
when I don't approve. We'll see. We'll see whether I can get it.
God, Dad, I just don't want to have my grapes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, sure. Dad, stop quoting movies to my boyfriends.
If someone
They
knows
can't
it,
watch
then they can
them.
stay. If they don't,
Yeah.
then they have to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, yeah, it looks like meat is back on the menu, boys. Yeah, that gets said in our house quite often. If we've gone a couple of days having vegetarian dinners, and then we have something else. I do like. Why do you lay these troubles on an already troubled mind? I'm tempted to say that works sometimes, funnily enough. And then I do think, when they're talking to Treebeard and they say, well, what side are you on? And he said, well, I'm on nobody's side because nobody's on my side. I was like, that's
Poignant.
that's an interesting
Oh,
one.
poor Andy. He says that every podcast when
Nobody's
Kev
on my
starts going, I hate this film.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
love
You got to
it
do
so
your
much.
own list.
Yeah.
I know. I do think when Eomer as well is like to the king with Gandalf, there's still goosebumps. And then they sort of they charge down into the side of the Uruk-hai. I do like that bit. That is
that was good.
that is good. Yeah. Okay.
Double
So
features then.
yeah, double feature straight out of the bat. I think Jason and the Argonauts, the like classic,
Good one.
like sort of similar battles. Obviously,
Yeah.
you'd be able to see the updates to special effects and stuff. I think that would be good. And I think again, just sat here in the shop with the blank faces all around. Well, why have they not seen Jason and the Argonauts? What sort of father are you? They need to see.
I don't think that stands up to the test of time. I'll give it a go, but I'm not so sure.
I think by the sounds of it, I think more happens. I don't think there's a lot of
I know, well, that goes on as well, doesn't it? That's quite a long one.
Yeah, it is quite a long film.
Yeah, no,
Good
no
though.
stamina.
Yeah, well, I have to tell them now if we're going to watch a film, they say, "Is this one from Andrew?" And I'm like, "No, it's one I found on the shelf." Okay, we'll watch it.
Yeah.
Get your
You
ad.
have to sell it in.
Start taking notes. This is what a good film makes you do. Anyone else good double feature to watch with this?
I put because it's basically all three films in one. I put The Boy Who Would Be King, which is literally, I'm pretty sure, all of these three films in one. It's British. It's just more childish. So yeah, I put that. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's just Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Kids movie. It's fun.
Yeah.
More entertaining.
Who wrote it or who directed it? I thought.
I don't know. I just watch films. I don't go.
Joe Cornish?
Right, start. Can go on a tick. Right, what's this?
Yeah. You got to, and he's got all these questions that he asks, with a little notepad that he fills in as he goes through the movie. It's a nightmare. Joe Cornish.
Oh yeah. So Joe from Adam and Joe. Yeah.
That's just for
Nice.
me and Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's well, so Hot Fuzz and obviously Attack the Block, which has featured on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you've gone for sort of a condensed, updated version of Lord of the Rings, just to show that the storylines possible in just one movie and 2 hours.
What was the
I
other
like that
one we
idea.
said? The game one with the
Warcraft?
dice. Yeah.
Or D&D.
Warcraft, yeah, World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
You'd want to watch that, yeah? Would you?
Well, I want a TV series actually rather than a film for Country File. Just because I thought the trees just stood out a little bit. So yeah, a nice Country File with John Craven. That's what I was going for, just to lighten the mood. And I don't want to do it over half hour because it just.
Yeah. I love it. That's
you've already been sat for quite a long time because of the length of the film. So just the cheeky TV.
That's probably the only reference to John Craven in your top 100.
well,
You never know. There's no spoilers for later on in the
you
list.
put that challenge out there, Rob. We'll squeeze it in. Yeah.
So just the one 3-star review.
Wow. Okay.
That was me yesterday.
And that was well, that was simply it works.
The DVD or the film?
3 stars.
Who knows? Or the ring?
Who knows?
He watched it. He watched it, and yeah,
the entire plot. Maybe I don't know. That was from France as well. So maybe
they just surprised something works.
Could just be the Amazon review system. It works.
It could be. Yeah,
Just tested it.
It's right.
There's so much mystery from the review. What do they mean?
Amazing.
Go on then, Kev. For you to begin with, then what did you go for the algo?
Well, I was thinking of like world building films. So for me, I've gone with Harry Potter, Dune, and Avatar. That's my list.
Yeah. So just the same ones as before. So interestingly, the algo. I mean, after you get through all of the Harry Potters and Star Wars, it's very specific on like other trilogies, which film. So it has Matrix Revolutions, not any of the other ones, just Matrix.
The second one or the third one?
And then has I couldn't even tell you. Third one, I think.
Third one, yeah.
And then Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Yeah, wow.
Like none of the
Orlando
other ones.
surely.
Is he in that one? Is it at World's End?
It must be.
Well, yeah, but he's in the first two. But,
Yeah.
But
they're not the
really,
same as well.
yeah, they didn't think that was like that. But then they went for Warcraft, and a couple of the Narnias
with the
as well.
orcs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think we know on that then, don't we?
I mean, you're basically saying the same things that the algo is. So I think the algo is
both films are about a ring. What do you want me to say? You know,
I'm guessing that the ring is in the algo.
More entertaining.
That would be better.
That's my programming.
No, that's So I think that's the algo is pretty much there. You've not said anything that's like, oh,
so what are you giving
that's a much better one.
What's the
Giving it to the algo
for what? What film?
Just for the same bunch of
just
films.
Because I didn't put enough change in.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
No, there's nothing about character development. So I think you and the algo
2025
on the same page.
I thought this was going to be a good year for us, Andy.
This is the year of the algo.
The year of the Andy
Us
algo.
as in humanity.
Yeah.
Or...
I'm going to start a chatbot and call it Andy.
It's going to select films just from this.
Wow. Okay. What are the doors then?
So that takes us 31-24. But is actually second week in a row for the algo, so it's making a bit of a comeback.
Rub it in, thanks.
Like your football team, Kev, started off doing all right and then gets hammered.
Oh, look at him go now. We've had one loss and he chirps up. Haven't had anything from him all season. I mean, who's got the most goals and the most assists? I mean, let's not say you're a one-player club, but you know.
I thought you were going to say Legolas. So before we go, Woody, Freddie. So obviously it's a little while before Return of the King. What are you looking forward to, or are you looking forward to
what
it?
are you not looking forward to?
We're going to have to sit through another 3-hour film.
The Fellowship.
Well,
is there any questions that you want to, that you, obviously last time it was, okay, well, Gollum's coming and Woody.
Now I just want to see how it all pieces together. Because like, as I said to Dad, I was like, so this is the greatest cinematic trilogy that I've grown up my whole life hearing about.
Yeah.
Number one, I was like, okay, this is setting the story, interesting. The second half of this film, I did enjoy. I did generally enjoy it. But then I'm like, if the third film is just more of this first half exposition, which isn't needed, and then the good stuff at the end, then I don't know how to see. But if it all comes together well, then I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, you wait
But, like,
until
they
the
have a-
very, very last scene, Freddie. You'll be like, oh my god.
But they have
was
all this
that- that was
exposition.
pointless.
Like in this film, they had all this exposition, and then they just forget things that not that matter, but like it's like Aragorn just rides straight up to the Helm's Deep that they're supposed to be defending from everyone, and he just rides up and they're like, oh yeah, Lone Rider, we'll let him in. Oh, it's Aragorn, that's lucky. It's like that could have probably you could have spared a minute just to say, oh, he actually did get stopped, but no, we'll spend an hour with the trees.
Everyone says it's Aragorn. They can see him from miles away.
That's
They let him in. Open the gate. You hear
You
him.
can
Yeah,
spot
I'm
an
just-
87-year-old man on a horse from a long way away. It's easily done.
So yeah, I'm just excited to see how it all connects because I do like stories that come together. So I'm hopeful that it will be like, but I'll have to wait and see because that first hour and a half was rough. But I did enjoy Helm's Deep and everything in the second half.
Yeah, but you would.
Interesting.
I just want to see more Gollum. He's the only person that's carrying this franchise for me. Everyone else is kind of dragging it down.
Like
Thanks.
it for the podcast, isn't it? Was
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. And yeah, well, I mean, for Rob and Kev, you both thought that this was your favorite of the three.
I feel like
that-
I remember this was the same as Rob, that this was in my memory feels like this was the better of the three, but I'll be interested to see the third. I thought there is about an hour of just slowness that you could have probably just removed. And then the rest of it's pretty good. It starts off, like you said, well with Gandalf, and then the end's obviously the crescendo is very, very good. But it's definitely better than Fellowship. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see if Return of the King's better. What about you,
I'm
Rob?
interested. Yeah, because I'm the same. It was more of a slow burner than I remember, I would say. And then thinking sort of like the big scenes in Return of the King. So it'd be interesting actually whether I revise my rating afterwards.
No,
Start
we'll see.
your
We've
list.
got a while before we see him.
Yeah. Prepare yourselves. So it's number 38 on the list then, Andy. What's happening?
Yeah. So I was sort of scanning the films above, and I thought it'd just go up a little bit more to 35. I think.
Yeah, okay.
I think that it's still. I really like it. I really like all of the films, the world building and the creation of everything.
Yeah.
I just think is really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, criticizing that one of the best books ever turned into a film for having exposition, I think is a bit controversial. So yeah, I think I still really liked it. I still think Return of the King is for me much better. Much better, and I think it does piece it all together. And also there's kind of all of the nostalgia that does go into it, having watched these films multiple times, having watched them with my wife who loves them, having watched them all in one day, all three extended editions in one 24-hour period.
As punishment,
It's
Because he's got no friends, as we alluded to there.
That's how he came out with the idea for the podcast. He's like, I'm bored. I need to think about every other film and start writing it down.
What I didn't know is he already asked all of you to be on the podcast until it got to me. And I'm like, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
sorry, Kev.
What have I done?
Doing?
Yeah.
You were top 10 choice, Kev. Don't worry.
Top 10. He's gaslighting me again.
How about you, Kev? Then I don't know where it's going to be. Whereabouts?
Yeah, I
on the
put
list?
it in the good section. I put it 14 of 62, so just below Iron Man 3, just above The Big Short. Just still really enjoy it. I mean, it is definitely too long. You could cut an hour and a half out of it, and you could definitely put the trees on 1.5. But I think they build the characters much better. They separating out Frodo makes it so much better, because then the other scenes and the other characters are so much better. There's so much more depth to them. You can see them building, which is great. And then obviously the fight scenes, the battles are huge as well and great. It's just all the boring bit with Frodo, which sadly is what the entire film is based around. But
yeah. Well, and I would say the first time I read Lord of the Rings, I would just skip the chapters with Frodo. So it is, unfortunately, it's very much the same in the books as well as the films. So
there you go.
Okay, there we go.
Great.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks for coming down. Obviously, we've got a little while until Return of the King. So yeah, we've got a bit of a wait, but we'll see. Build the anticipation. Don't watch it early and watch it 3 or 4 times. I think.
I think we can survive.
No one's eager to watch it.
I can't wait. I might watch it before and then watch it again for the podcast. So for next week, maybe I was looking for a very apt quote from the film for next week, and I came up with I don't know what I've been doing with my life all these years.
Wow.
So we'll get into that next week.
Kev's feeling like that.
It was what Kev's going to be asking himself after watching next week's film. I promise you.
Yeah, it feels like years.
You're obviously just keeping the patrons of Long Play Video happy.
Thousands of them. It's like the Urukai army, with tens of thousands.
And that door really just does streamline them in. Thanks to Tom Miller for the theme song. And we'll all go off now and see if that South Farthing leaf is as good as they say.